Oh, no, it's not. Okay.
You can make it bigger.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much it here.
I'm like,
Oh, we got plenty of chicken here. Y'all ready? Everybody ready? Uh-oh. Not my name, please. I need my pen. All right, here we go. I call this regular session of the Lovington City Commission to order. Shannon, roll call, please.
Mayor Roberts.
I'm here.
Commissioner White.
here.
Commissioner Ramon.
Here.
Commissioner Rodriguez.
Here.
Commissioner Perry.
Here.
You'll join us on our invocation. Father God, we just thank you for another beautiful day. We thank you for the ability to live in such a fine community. And Father, we just ask that you be with us tonight, that you join us and you help us help our citizens. That you give us the knowledge and the understanding that we need so that we can do the best for them. Father, we just again thank you for everything that you have blessed us with up to this point, and we look forward to what you have in the future for us. Pray that you will be with us throughout the entirety of this meeting and just help us continue to add to our community everything that we can possibly do in our power. Father, we just ask that you be with us. Through Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen. You'll join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico, the Zia symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures. You may be seated. All right. Floor is open to a motion on the minutes.
I'd like to make a motion to consider the minutes of March 23rd and April 6th, 2026 as submitted. Second.
A motion and second for the adoption of the minutes. Any additions, any corrections, any discussion? Hearing none. Shannon?
Commissioner White.
Yes.
Commissioner Perry.
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez.
Yes.
Commissioner Ramon.
Yes.
And Mayor Roberts.
Yes. All right. Brings us to our commissioner and staff report. Ms. Shannon?
Yes, we have another budget adjustment for everyone to sign off on tonight. So I just asked.
Don't leave.
Don't leave and sign the paper. Thank you.
Did you have a sheet for public comment? I didn't receive it if we did.
I don't think we have anybody.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll sign it.
Okay, Nora says we don't. That's fine.
We have anybody sign.
Okay. All right, Ms. Nora.
Mayor Roberts, Commissioner Santon.
Okay, thank you. Chief.
Yes, sir. Mayor, Commissioner, City Manager, officers' activities for the month of March includes 1,258 incident responses with 690 self-initiated, had 400 traffic stops with 316 citations, 34 arrests. We're losing an officer. She's moving to Texas, but we have an applicant who passed the run and she'll be in the process. We have, I think on the 31st of March, myself and the Sheriff Department put up the speed trailer on First Street, just south of Albertsons. The information that we gathered from that speed trailer was from March 31st to this morning was 6,483 total vehicles within that time frame was on First Street. The speed limit was set at 25 miles an hour. We had 3,711 was under the speed, which is 57%. We had 43% was over the speed at 2,772, and one was at 75 miles an hour.
Commissioner Rodriguez. Really? I apologize.
10 lemons was 221, was only 3%, which is an average of 40 miles an hour. So the average speed total was 3,998 total vehicles at 61% was 34.5 miles an hour. Pettigreen, it's a law enforcement intelligent platform. We should be going live May the 1st, which is a real-time intelligence platform. It'll be able to help us flag patterns, repeat offenders, hotspots, and trends. It'll help us with mapping and analytics. We'll be able to share data across all agencies within New Mexico. And with that, I'll stand for any questions.
Questions, Commissioner?
When did you catch me doing 75 miles?
That's right.
Does it give
What
an actual
time?
day?
That's right. He was going over unplugging it most of the time.
Was it duty? Does that make sense?
Was it what?
Black duty. It wasn't your Mustang, it was your duty.
It was probably my car. No, but does it give you a time?
No. There's better data that I need to get, but they give you, it has the dates and times, but all the speeders are just like this, so I'm trying to get an Excel spreadsheet where it breaks the data down a little bit better.
Okay.
So I set it, I'm gonna have them set it on 2nd Street to see if those speed bumps are actually being effective over there.
Oh.
And then maybe the next commission meeting, I'll have some better information.
Okay. I'm just curious who got up to 75 miles an hour in that one.
You should have heard him. Or,
Him, her?
her, right, whatever.
It was Commissioner White.
The young kid sees the speed trailer and has got to see how fast he can get.
Yeah, from the intersection.
My
to-
car does that, we don't have to use a speed trailer, it's a little button for it.
I did see some kids running in front of that thing to try to get it to go up, so.
Not 75 miles an hour.
No, not 75 miles an hour, no, they didn't make that one.
Unless they were on those
That was lovely.
electric bikes, yeah. All right, any further, it's kind of sad. Any further questions for Chief? Thank you, Chief.
Just for-
Appreciate it. Fire Chief.
Mr. Mayor, members of the commission, so I'm gonna start out with, PD, they need to dig up an in-ground propane tank at 314 South 7th Street. They believe that it's leaking. So what's gonna happen is after they remove all the propane from the tank, they will still have to flare the tank before they can dig. If they decide to dig it up, there's two options they can do, and I'll have Brian talk to you in a second. When they decide to flare it off, whether they dig it up or they fill it with sand, whatever they're gonna have to do, we will have a fire truck that's standing by. During the flaring process, like I said, Mr. Bearden is here to answer any questions with this project. I know he'll have to have different permits through the city. So the lady that is having it done, once she found out how much it was gonna be, she's like, I can't afford that. She lives on Social Security, so after speaking with Brian, they have gotten, all the work is gonna be donated. I told them fire department would donate the burn permit. I don't know about the rest of the city permits, how that would be, but it is gonna be donated for this lady because right now it is a public danger, and it's right over here kind of by the Avenue D Park. And we want to take that danger away, and I'll let Brian.
Come on up, Mr. Brian.
All right, stand back here. I don't have to go over there.
You are.
I am Brian Bearden with PD Petroleum
Thank you, sir.
here in Lovington. So, yes, like Skip was saying, there's two options. One, we can get it completely emptied of all vapor and dig it out, or we can fill it with sand if I can get the valves out. But I have to get it out where it can't be filled Otherwise, it needs to be removed because it's no longer legal as a propane tank. It's called a deep bury propane tank, underground propane tank. It's like 6 feet deep.
Is it really?
Yeah, I've never seen one in Lee County before, so. it's
Okay.
kinda cool.
The last of its kind.
More likely.
Let's hope.
Yeah, yes. But I would ask also if we could close down probably 7th B and C during the process, because my truck's a 5,000 gallon bobtail that I would need to park on 7th Street to be able to suck out the tank. So for safety purposes, I would ask that we could close those down for probably a day. Figure it'd take about 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours to suck it out, 2 to 3 hours of a flare max, if I can get all the liquid out.
Do we have the ability to do it maybe on a weekend? I know that's difficult. I
We
realize.
do, but I'm just concerned with it leaking in, which I can't confirm for sure because it is so deep. But when you pull the lid off of the casing where the valves and stuff are at, it's pretty strong smell.
Right, no, I understand. I'm just saying that's a major thoroughfare for school, you know.
Right.
But we'll work around it. We'll make sure that everybody knows, and then you can show them as necessary.
So you said you're looking at about possibly 6 hours somewhere in there. Could it be something where they started it right after school goes into session and then hopefully be done before school gets out? Because they're in school for what, 7 hours, 7.5 hours?
Yeah.
Maybe if we had to work it like that.
I mean,
And ASAP said it wouldn't take long to dig it out. They would dig a hole next to the tank,
right.
and that way we could slide it off because they actually have a garage foundation that's real close to where this tank is at. So.
And he was also explaining to me if they end up flaring it, what they'll do is they'll connect it, and there's an empty lot. They will actually, instead of just flaring it straight up where it's at, bring that out to where it flares towards that empty lot. And then, like I said, we'll have a truck on scene as well.
Yeah, my state regulations require 25 feet from any structures and 25 feet from highways.
Okay.
And I got with Daryl Pitts, he has a 25-foot flare,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll hook it up with the hose that I use to suck the liquid out of the tank.
How much is in it?
It shows they have 55%. If that gauge is accurate, it'd be about 100 gallons in a 222 gallon tank.
Well, we just want to say we appreciate your help in this issue.
Yes, sir.
You know, obviously, she probably had no clue as to the current condition and everything, so.
She told me she thought it was part of a water well. So.
Okay. Well, thank
Mr.
you.
Mayor, pardon me,
No,
I would ask the mayor and the city clerk, do we have to do a resolution for a street closure? Because normally we do that, and we've actually got one on the agenda tonight.
right.
Or can we approve it in this meeting?
Well, I just think, I mean, it won't really be a closure. It may be just a detour for it, you know, if we can get it done, I would say that, you know, it's not like there's gonna be people walking, you know, a lot of time when we do street closures, like the one we're talking about, it's because there's gonna be a lot of people there, but
Right.
this is just a traffic deterrent. If the PD can just help
All right,
take care of that, so.
evacuate.
Y'all take your time and get her done. Thanks, Brian.
So my second thing is we've had another employee who has resigned. We do have 7 new applicants. A few of them are already certified, so we have some good looking applicants. The baby box blessing / ribbon cutting will be on April the 20th, so next Monday at 1 p.m. at Station 2 at 1424 North 17th Street
Time was what?
at 1 p.m.
1 p.m. Thank you.
Yes, sir. The county emergency management, they filed for a grant through Homeland Security for the addition of emergency sirens in Lovington. Since we only have the 3, we're trying to cover more of the city. I want to say it was an additional 8 sirens, if I believe correctly, or that's what we were looking at. So the grant, they did receive the grant. It was worth $587,000. So the federal grant is $440K, and then local in-kind is $146,000. And after speaking with emergency management, they are gonna try to get the city, or the county, to pay that $146,000, so that the city would not be out anything.
Good luck.
And that would, like I said, we're looking to add, I wanna say, it was 3 off of 17th, 3 off of commercial
Or industrial.
or industrial. I wanna say they were off of commercial, but it might have been industrial. And then I think 1 out at the corner of Reed Road and the city limits right there, because we have all those RVs or mobile homes that are back off of 6-shooter. And then I think 1 down south of the city. So I wanna say it was a total of 8 that we were looking at. Now, like I said, we're waiting to hear from the county of whether or not they're gonna pay that 146. And then we'll have to get together and decide exactly how we're gonna work it. I got with Leslie on it, and we haven't decided exactly, since they have the, they did the grant, if they're gonna have to run it, or if we would run, how it would work, we're gonna have to figure that out with the county. But we'll start, as soon as we hear something, we'll start trying to get work done on that. So our numbers for March, total EMS was 282 calls, interfacility transfers 67, cancel refusal DOA 41, airport transports were 21, Tatum calls 11, paramedicine patients 10, and then we had 26 fire calls. So the total for the first quarter was 692 EMS calls, 186 interfacility transfers, 224 cancel refusal DOA, 56 airport, 29 Tatum calls, 33 paramedicine patients, and 69 fires. And that's all I have. I will stand for a question.
Questions, Commissioner? No one seems to have any. Thank you, Chief.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Commissioner Rodriguez.
Have nothing to say.
All right. Other than your speakers.
Other than my speeding right out front.
You've repented.
I'm trying to.
Okay. Commissioner Ramon.
I had a question for the city manager. Have you guys decided on a virtual consultant yet, or is that still in the works?
I was gonna address that in my
Okay.
comments right now.
Okay,
Oh.
okay, I'll wait for that then. And then also, I just wanted to publicly thank Debbie Mitchell with the library. Commissioner Perry and myself visited, and they provided us with a tour and gave us some insight on some of their needs, so that was very nice of them. And that's all I have.
All right. Commissioner White.
I'm good.
All right. Commissioner Perry.
She stole my thunder.
Oh, that young. Just can't keep it quiet.
Yeah, I know.
Good evening, Ed. How are you?
Good evening, Mayor. Fine, yourself.
I'm doing well, thank you.
Commissioners, you're doing well.
Yeah.
Good. Well, in your packets, I did put the financial statements for the month of February. And you can see that the general fund revenue, cash balances at the end of January and February are about the same. Look, there was an increase, maybe almost $1 million. No, I take that back, 100,000.
Well, good try.
Good try. You see in the bottom of the schedule, the breakdown as far as the non-bearing interest accounts and the interest-bearing accounts. Included in your packet was some statements from the state treasurer's office, STO, and I went ahead and after meeting with the mayor, it was his consent, his thought process that prior to the new board being formed after the election, the old board had decided to put $3 million at the state treasurer's office And then it would be, a decision would be made regarding the remaining amount. You can see from the amounts, the interest rate that the state treasurer's office is paying. This last month it was, and I also put in there where most of that interest-bearing interest or cash is. And there's about a 1.3% difference in the interest rate. And my suggestion to the board is that they give me authority to invest the money as I see fit at the state treasurer's office and keep in the regular non-interest bearing account what we need for operating, to pay bills, and things like that. So I need direction from the board regarding that.
May I interrupt on that note?
Sure.
I received a call from the president of our local bank where we keep most of our funds today. He would like the opportunity to address the commission in the May 11th meeting. He can't make the April 27th meeting. About some of the community benefits that his institution offers, and he wants to talk about some of the intangibles that, should be considered in his opinion. So he asked that if no action, I know this is not an action item, but he just wanted a chance to have his say with the city commission before we take any possible action. So that would be on May 11th.
I appreciate what the president of that institution is saying. But just generally speaking, every month that goes by, it's costing the city about $20,000 to have the money down south versus up north. I understand that there's local investment so that the banks can offer lending here locally. But I'm looking at it from the point of view of what's best for the city as far as their investments, how much money they can make on that. So it's up to, again, it's up to I just need direction from the board. Bar 1 and 2 that I have previously presented to the commission were approved by DFA, and the bar 2 was very lengthy. You saw that there was like 10 sheets of those individual sheets. So that was approved by DFA, and I have uploaded those into Tyler. And so when our accounting software, so when I do the March statements, you'll be able to see what the current budget is prior to the bar that we're going to do today. Mr. Miranda will explain the budgeting process for fiscal year 27. I'm working on the March accounting, and then also the water and sewer billing and collection office is fully funded. I mean, it's fully staffed. So we I wish it was fully staffed, but it's fully staffed. We've got everyone we need in there, and plus we're doing a little cross training and have another individual that's working, going to help us back there in the accounting area. So I stand for any questions you may have.
Questions? After I have a statement or whatever, a suggestion, and this is for yourself and the city manager. After looking at this over the weekend, I felt like, do you think it would be good to put together maybe a group that will, one, look at an investment policy? I don't know if we have an investment policy. I'm sure if we do, that it needs to be updated, and I was going to volunteer Commissioner Ramon and Commissioner Rodriguez to help in that, come up with an investment. One, look at what we've got, come up with something, and then that would be, there wouldn't be any questions, there wouldn't be whatever, they would help evaluate if we want to put everything up north, or to maximize, and then we can move forward and kind of get this lined out and moving in a good direction.
Well, one of the things that I did when I presented, I believe the city manager put in your packets also, information regarding,
Yeah.
I looked at the audit reports for local governments. I looked at, because all that has to be disclosed, how much you have, where you have the money, and I looked at Lee County, the city of Hobbs, and the New Mexico Junior College, and then ours. And very similar, they all say they don't really have an investment policy, but you're welcome to do that. Just a side note, I did notice between the New Mexico Junior College and the city of Hobbs, they have $433 million up north at the state treasurer's office.
I agree, I saw that.
So, I mean, there's a lot of money from Lee County up there already. So, whatever the commission wants to do, as far as investment council or write something.
Would you two be interested in working on that? Sure. I mean, it's in your field, so, okay. See if we can get something moving. Any further questions? Guess so. Thank you, Ed. Appreciate it. You're welcome. Mr. Miranda?
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, the GRT number for January was $1,049,251.46 compared to $588,000 for the same month last year, which was abnormally low due to a one-time clawback by New Mexico Taxation and Revenue. Of note, in the sector breakdown for January, is that construction, which is normally in the top two sectors, dropped to the fourth largest. It's usually number one or two with retail. We also had wholesale trade and transportation and warehousing. One possible reason for the drop in the construction section might be the winding down of both the Albertsons construction and the new hospital project. However, our 12-month GRT average is now over 1.1 million per month for the first time ever. The federally funded $136,000 emergency generator was successfully installed at Booster 1, ensuring that we have adequate backup power in the event of a power failure out there. In regards to HR outsourcing, unless anybody on the commission has any objection, we have a Zoom call this Wednesday at 3 o'clock with Holly Darby Consulting, and it is our intention to engage in a three-tiered agreement with them. The first would be to immediately conduct an HR audit, and that would cost $5,000. The second would be to review, revise, and update the current employee handbook, and that would be $3,000. And then going forward to have this person or this firm engaged with the city on a consulting basis at the rate of $200 an hour. Again, that'll be Wednesday at 3 o'clock. We have reached out to the public through both mail and social media to further educate them about the details of our new water conservation ordinance, which goes into effect May 1st. The first batch of 2,000 new Camstrup meters is scheduled to arrive next week. We will then begin a systematic swapping out of meters. This will be done in-house to save money. In March, the city conducted its first comprehensive strategic planning session since 2015. This was coordinated by Jordan Johnson LLC. During the two-day session, we received critical input from key external stakeholders, elected officials, and city management. The result will be a 2026 to 2028 strategy map, which will contain strategic pillars, objectives, measures of success, and action plans for the top 5 areas identified by participants. The East Avenue A Street project has been completed right here between Main and Low Street by Ramirez and Sons, as well as the street project in front of the Rancho Grande. In March, we received notice from the state comptroller that for the first time in 6 years, the city of Lovington will no longer require state fiscal agent oversight. Credit goes to Ed Fierro and his staff for this milestone. As the fire chief mentioned, the opening of the baby box will be next Monday, 1 week from today at 1 o'clock at Fire Station 2 on North 17th Street. Scheduled speakers are Senator Gallegos, Representative Pettigrew, Commissioner Kimbrough, and Mayor Roberts. This week begins the first of 3 weeks of departmental budget planning sessions being held Tuesday through Thursday. Mr. Fierro plans to have the fiscal year 2027 preliminary budget before the commission for consideration at the May 11th meeting. The state deadline for submission is May 29th. Once we get the budget out of the way, we will set a date for an ICIP workshop with the commissioners. They canceled last week, but on Wednesday or Thursday of this week, we will have Pace Acoustics from Albuquerque here to evaluate the acoustics here in the commission chamber for the benefit of people at home and the benefit of people in the audience. They're the people that do a lot of work for the schools and for Lee County. And lastly, and this regards the library, every time it rains in the back of the library, and Faye might have pointed this out to you, you have that kind of shallow, it goes from the alley and it slopes downward. So we had one person estimate, the estimate to fix that permanently because it seeps under the door. We've tried weather stripping and everything else. It seeps under the door, goes into the kitchen, it gets up to the carpets. It came in to install concrete trench with grading, grade to match existing sidewalk elevation, slope the trench drain 12 inches to the north end, which is where the alley is. It came in at $19,688. We can either put this off and budget it in for 27 fiscal year, or we can get it done now and take it out of the 301 Capital Projects Fund. We have more than enough money. It would mean we'd have a slight bar in May to account for this. So Faye wants it done sooner than, not Faye, sorry, Debbie wants it done sooner than later. We are approaching monsoon season, so I mean, it's doable. It's just going to be a small bar next month
What's your recommendation?
to go with it. And I'd be happy to stand for any other questions.
Question?
Thank
I
you.
don't see any disagreement with that. so.
Okay. Yeah, it looks pretty bad. It's been a chronic problem for years.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Council?
Mayor and Commissioners, don't have anything new to talk about at the meeting. We'll have some comments on resolution number 37 and obviously the closed session. I will point out, just in case the AG is looking at our printed agenda, there is an action item on the back when we come out of closed session, so you didn't miss that. It's important. Other than that, I'd be happy to stand for any questions.
Okay. Questions?
No.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, I don't have anyone signed up for public comment, and we have a couple of discussion items and several things tonight. So at each point in juncture, I'll probably ask if there's any public comment on those items. And we will move on to our non-action items, and I know Officer Brady's not here, so I guess Mr. Robinson's gonna handle it.
Yeah.
All right, this is a discussion of Lee County Heroes.
If I can, I got this flyer today from the students. Can I give it and pass it
Sure,
around?
absolutely.
There should be enough for everybody. Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners, and everyone here that's present. My name is Rashawn Robinson. I am a citizen here for the City of Lovington, also the chairman of the Lee County Heroes Board. I have Dion Miller, she's a board member here, and Jeff Williams, who's also a board member. I really appreciate the opportunity to stand in front of you guys and share what we've been working on this year. First off, the program is doing great. We're continuing to grow. We officially opened up the applications for the 2026 banner season. We've already started getting a good amount of number of submissions. We should hit over the amount that we're expecting. We're trying to do the cutoff by June. Some of the older crowd puts in a little bit later. We don't shut them off until the last minute, but we just want to get the banners ordered. Another big highlight that we had is the senior center, which the PD talked about. I think we did over 500, served over 500 seniors. That was awesome. I mean, it was really cool. And it was a huge turnout. We're hoping to do some more pop-ups throughout Lovington this season. Another thing that I'll let you guys know that's really personal for us is that we started our veteran interview project. So basically what we are doing now, there's an organization called, I think it's American Veteran Association on YouTube. They're interviewing veterans from their beginning lives all the way to where they're at now. And we started doing that ourselves with the work with the Lovington High School AV Club. We are on our second interview today, right? The first one we had was a deputy, J.W. Grady. And then the second one we had today was Patsy Cunningham. Basically, these interviews, we just record their lives. They talk about before the military, during and after. The AV Club's helping us. They're going to clip it. They're going to put it on TikTok, YouTube, put it on our website. We're going to spread it around. So it's really big for Lovington. We're talking about our veterans and we're storing their information for them. So that's huge. And some of the stories we heard today, from Patsy was pretty amazing. So that's a very big milestone that we're doing. The school is really on board with that. Speaking of that, the event that I just showed you, the AV and Media Club is trying to, this is going to be their first year putting this on. And they brought it up to our program, and basically this event is going to be a red carpet. I guess it's going to be snazzy, you dress up. It's going to be at the theater. And they're going to showcase what they've been working on all year, and it's going to be evolved around where we're going to showcase our first veteran interview to the public. They've asked me to see if the commissioners would go and the city officials. This is really big for them, and they're hoping to do this every year. The kids, I guess, just dressing up, having red carpets and all that, I think they're really excited about that. So I would hope that all you guys can show up for them and watch the video. On top of that, with the discussion item we brought up today is, let me back up, sorry. The Veterans Day Parade we set up to November, we put for November 7th at $1,300 at 1 o'clock. Set up to be at 12. That's not on our discussion. We're doing the banners. I'm just letting you guys know, and I'll come back and bring it back up. I think that's the day we're looking at. Correct?
For what day?
November 7th for the Veterans Day Parade.
Yes.
Yes, and at 1 p.m. We're looking at doing a little bit longer this year because you saw it was a really good turnout, and we're expecting a bigger turnout this year. We have two options. We're going to start at Tractor Supply, which we already got approval. We'll come down and maybe the walkers can start at the courthouse, get in, parade in at the church. Or we're going to start at Domino's, but I think when we get closer, we'll let you guys know. And I'll still do the permits and everything.
Mr. Robinson, I wasn't ignoring you, but unfortunately, May 11th is a commission meeting night.
November.
No, for the
Oh, okay.
spectaculars.
No, yeah.
Because I would have gone.
Well, another big problem is I guess with the sports, we looked at that schedule and we fought it hard. So,
Yeah, it's a great idea.
It's at 7, so maybe if we have a short budget,
Yeah, good try.
Yeah, maybe, with God willing, if we can get out of here, then that'd be awesome. But we'll see. So, yeah, the Veterans Day Parade, November 7th. I'll do another discussion for that. But the discussion today is what I'm asking for is last year you guys gave me 22 polls for the banners, which y'all saw in town. They're really awesome. They're really pretty. We've got a lot of feedback from them. We've had a little bit of issues with the poles, but we ordered some new poles. You saw we got them replaced by ASAP. Chuck Johnson at C&M's been over that, and then we also got IPS committed now too to help us maintain these banners. One thing I'm asking for in the next one is an action item. We would like to do 18 more poles. 9 south, 9 north. The first poll, the first year we had was one company, C&M. 22 was pretty good. We had one pole that messed up. Now we added 3 more companies to help us maintain those. So it wouldn't cost the city anything. We would just ask for 9 more poles on the south main, 9 more poles added north main, which would be 4 and 5 on one side, 4 and 5 on the other side. And I think that's it for my presentation.
All right.
Any questions?
Questions? I don't hear. All right, thank you, sir. We
Awesome. Thank you,
appreciate it.
guys.
All right. Our favorite topic. Discussion of the potential amendment to the livestock/fowl ordinance. City manager.
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, I think it was a month and a half ago, the mayor and the commission tasked me with coming up with a potential change to our city ordinance to allow backyard chicken hens on a limited basis. So I got together with code enforcement, the fire marshal, animal services, and P&Z. And we kind of crafted this together, so it was a group effort. Basically, I'll try to go through the takeaway points. It defines what fowl is. And Laura Brock said the better term for the ordinance would be a backyard chicken hen. Domesticated female chicken, approximately 4 to 5 months old, kept in a small-scale, non-commercial setting such as a residential backyard, primarily for egg production, companionship, or pest control. Fowl, in its definition, can include a rooster, hen, turkeys, geese, guineas, ducks, chickens, and other birds. So I'm going to skip through the livestock portion of this ordinance. So one of the requirements would be to apply for a permit from the Animal Protection Department for $25. And this would enable an animal protection officer or code enforcement officer permitted at any reasonable time to enter the premises for the purpose of inspection or reinspection to determine compliance. And the fee of $25 would be for the residents. It wouldn't be per chicken, it would be total for 1 to 6 backyard chicken hens. So what are some of the conditions? No more than 6 backyard chicken hens. They're restricted to the rear or backyard of any lot. Backyard chicken hens may not free range and are restricted to the coop and run. All backyard chicken hen coops shall meet the following requirements: be predator proof, made of chicken or hardware wire with a solid top and solid wall. Provide water at all times. The coop shall be properly ventilated or limited to a maximum of 120 square feet, includes coop space and chicken run. Provide at least 4 square feet of space per backyard chicken. Be no taller than 7 feet at the highest point. And I know the mayor had said that some of these coops that exist already are kind of attached to the homes. However, the fire marshal in planning and zoning kind of said that this is probably not a good idea. Some places have 10 feet, they said 5 feet might be okay for safety purposes. Also 5 feet at least from any side or rear property line. All coops shall be regularly cleaned to control dust, odor, and waste, not constitute a nuisance, safety hazard, or health problem to the surrounding properties. No coops shall present a fire hazard, especially regarding heat lamps, because we have seen fires there. Excuse me. All coops shall not interfere with a structure's egress, meaning exit. So in other words, if you built a coop right by a bedroom window in the back, that could possibly prevent egress in a fire, comply with all zoning codes, and keep in agreement with nuisance provisions. So the city of Lovington Animal Protection Services would be able to collect any chicken hen found running at large, so they can take them. Any chicken hen that is taken up by Animal Protection Services that does not have an identification band will be adopted out or disposed of immediately. So the other requirement might be to have tags, bands, to identify the owner for any transgressions. Just a possibility. So that's not set in stone, but it's kind of what we came up with between the 5 departments. And again, we can leave the ordinance as is, which prohibits all kinds of chickens and fowl, or we can amend it slightly, or we can go back to the drawing board. And Laura Brock is here, and I think we have some people in the audience, pro or con, that might want to
Sure.
weigh in. So but that's kind of what we came up with on our chicken ordinance.
Okay. Well, I really don't want to go back to ground zero, so hopefully, this, with some input or whatever, we can get this finalized and move forward. Ms. Brock, do you have any, sorry, wrong, Ms. Jordan, sorry, one of these days, do you have anything you would like
Thank you, Mayor and
address?
Commissioners. I think we did an excellent job the way it is written. We did ask for those bans, the identification bans. I think it was an excellent idea that was brought up by code enforcement, who does have chickens and more familiar with the animals. And it's a way of identifying. One of the things is we're not gonna be able to keep the chickens on the premises. We're not equipped for that right now, and if that's something that y'all wanna look at, we definitely need to look at building it and the safety of it and stuff like that. So being able to identify a chicken if it's out running at large, and so that way we can get it back to the owner, is kind of crucial. And so I definitely think that was a great recommendation to be able to help us in that endeavor. Hopefully we don't have too many of them running at large.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any questions, commissioners? All right.
So, Ms. Jordan, I agree, it's obvious you put a lot of work into this. Is this enforceable?
Yes, I believe it will be enforceable. Yes, sir.
Okay. How about codes? What's your opinion on this? Is this something that is going to be enforceable? I understand there's kind of a difference between your departments, but some overlap.
I think we're in collaboration with Animal Services, it can be enforced. It can be, it's just gonna take some work and time.
I just hate to see us get into something that,
Right, you can't handle.
right.
So
I mean-
it can, but it's not gonna be.
It'll have to go through the permitting process the way it is written, because it needs to fall into zoning and the permitting process. Unless that was an exempt process, it will go to the zoning department, and they will have to get a permit there. And then it would have to be, they would do the inspections as far as the coop and the run. And then once they've been approved, it would then come, once they've been, get their little paper signed off, then they can bring it to the shelter. And then at the shelter, then we will then proceed with the permit there.
I just know about doing code, there are already just multiple houses that have more than there's 6. So to get the people to come in, it's gonna take a lot of work to try to get everybody into compliance.
We are in the process of hiring a 3rd code enforcement officer as we speak.
So you're banning these chickens, who does that?
The owner. They will be assigned, so when they come in for their permit, they're gonna be assigned certain numbers. Only those numbers are gonna go with that permit. So each one, and so say a chicken dies, then, or whatever, they sell it, then they still, that band is theirs, it comes on and off, and then they can, or if they lose it, then they are assigned only certain numbers. They can always replace it, put that number on it. So that part would be fairly simple.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other commissioners' questions? All right. Any questions or comments from the staff? Public comment? Don't be bashful. Y'all want to say something, I guarantee you.
She just answered my question.
Awesome. So, Mr. Gordon. I will.
Yeah, my name is Tim Boyson. I do have a question about the chickens and all that stuff. I don't want them in this town at all, personally. But what I found, there's chickens today in this town. They run around, code enforcement, they're still running around. I still got a rooster in my neighborhood, been there for 12 years, still there. So if they can't do it now, how are they gonna be able to do it in the future?
Right now, we're not enforcing any chicken ordinance at this moment. We're trying to get through this process. It's kind of been a hands-off up to now. Just
So
Steve
I
wants to jump
understand
up.
that,
So.
but right now, there's no roosters allowed in this town.
There hasn't been much enforcement for several months.
For several years.
Well, and no arguments there.
Right. That's one of my concerns is if they can't do it now, how are they gonna do it in the future? Just saying, you know. Cause you can go downtown and you go around town, around neighborhoods, and you can hear them and you can see them. I know if this gets passed and a chicken runs in my yard, it's going in my freezer, in my frying pan.
Z, huh?
I'll take it,
Okay.
and I'll take the bands off, throw it away. You know, personally, it's free food for me. Anyway.
All right. Anyone else? Hearing, Mr. Miranda, I'm assuming that we are going to proceed forward with this as far as publicizing it and.
If you wish.
Well, we haven't had anything.
We have not made this public in terms of like social media or print media.
Right, exactly. That's what. Yeah.
And if anybody wants, tomorrow I can give people copies, or I can just put it on our website tomorrow. But
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Are we ready to?
I just didn't, I wasn't sure about publicizing it because it's not law yet. And I don't
Well,
want people
if
to-
we're gonna make an ordinance or change this ordinance, we're gonna have to publicize it. That's what I'm saying. Are we ready to move to that? Not tonight, but is it gonna be on a?
It can be on the next meeting to approve advertising
Okay.
for a town hearing, Ames.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Anything further?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. All right, this brings us to our public hearing. Ms. Shannon, if you'll, I'm gonna have you, first of all, we're gonna open up public hearing for ordinance 617, annexation of the Squires Addition as residential zone. You would be so kind to, let's read the resolution as we are looking at it.
The ordinance,
I'm sorry, yeah, ordinance, sorry, I said resolution.
an ordinance to annex privately owned parcel of land, Squires Addition, assigning the classification as Zone A, a single-family residential district. Be it ordained, the city of Lovington, pursuant to the provision of section 3-7-17 in NMSA 1978, does hereby, with the adoption of this ordinance, express its consent to the annexation to the city of Lovington, contiguous territory below described in the Lee County records on deed in book 2152, page 185, and does hereby annex the following described territory being 1 Water, Section 5, Township 16 South, Range 36 East, NMPM, Lee County, New Mexico, to the present boundaries of the city of Lovington, to wit, annexed area hereto attached and described upon the Squires subdivision plat, Zone A, single-family residential district. that the city clerk is directed pursuant to state statute to file a copy of this ordinance together with a copy of the annexation plat of the territory so annexed in the office of the county clerk, and send copies to the Secretary of Finance and Administration and the Secretary of Taxation and Revenue. The annexation of such territory to the city of Lovington shall be deemed complete within 30 days after the filing of a copy of this ordinance in the office of the county clerk, unless an appeal be made to the district court as provided in said statute. The said territory will be zoned as single-family residential district and included in the official land use map, all pursuant to the provisions of the City of Lovington land use regulations. Be it ordained by the governing body of the City of Lovington, New Mexico, that the public interest, health, and safety and general welfare is better served by the classification of the property as Zone A, single-family dwelling, legally described being one lot of Section 5, Township 16 South, Range 36 East, NMPM, Lee County, New Mexico, in the hereto attached copy of the Squires subdivision.
Thank you. All right. And now, if someone would like, has a desire to comment on this, you'll be asked to come forward, and we'll have you state your name, whether you're commenting for or against this item. Before we proceed to that, Ms. Shannon, I want to make sure that we all understand. I was listening, I read it earlier, and I was trying to find it, that the owners are wanting this annexed in with the stipulation that they are able to build a subdivision that meets county specifications. Okay, that's not in the ordinance, but I want to make sure that that's understood, that is I'm sure that is a prerequisite for their wanting to have annexation.
Yes.
You agree with that? Okay.
Yes.
All right. All right. Anyone that would like to speak and come forward? No one's jumping up. I had planned on Crystal actually talking about this tonight, but she had a family emergency, so she is not here.
I do have one question.
Okay, come forward, sir.
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners.
Yes.
Should that language be in
The ordinance.
the ordinance?
Well, when I read it, not the ordinance, I read the supporting documentation, it was in there.
Okay.
But it's not in the ordinance. We can, as long as it's understood, we can always add that to it. If it's,
Thank you.
after the vote, so.
Okay, thank you.
The copy I have has some language in there that says, let's see, the owner has requested the annexed area be allowed to build homes by county subdivision specifications, not city subdivision specifications, and the city has granted this request.
Okay, that's what I had read last night, so. Okay. All right, seeing no one else, excuse me.
Junior Hernandez, representing the EDC tonight. Does that ordinance state how many lots? Because there was a proposal for 20 and maybe 41, but is it gonna matter?
This is
I
one
think it
lot
would
of
be.
Section 5.
But, so it's being subdivided into lots, but there's two proposals, one of 20 lots and one of 46. So is that gonna matter to the city or not?
Okay, the annexation would not deem the amount of lots. the specifications of the subdivision would deem that. So yes, to answer your question, there's been some discussion on that. That if we voted in as annex it in, excuse me, that's not right. Annex it in with the county spec subdivision specifications, then there would be 41, is that right, Mr. John Cox?
That's correct.
Okay. And then if it's, so you would be looking at 41 lots based on that?
And that is county spec, not city spec lots.
That is correct, yes. All right. Anyone else? Seeing no one, right? Then we will be closing this public hearing. Thank you, Ms. Shannon, for your participation. Closing the hearing and moving on to action items. All right. Floor is open for our first action item.
I'd like to make a motion for consideration of ordinance 617, Squires Addition Annexation.
Okay.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Is everyone clear with what we've said? Okay, since we've already had kind of a discussion in the public hearing. All right. This moves us to our vote. Ms. Shannon?
Commissioner Rodriguez,
No.
Mayor Roberts,
No.
Commissioner White,
No.
Commissioner Rowland,
No.
Commissioner Perry.
No.
All right. Moves us to our second resolution.
I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2026-029, approval of public easement for egress and ingress to the Clayton Tract 2C located in section 12 in the northwest quarter, section 13, township 16, south range 36 east, and MPM.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for this resolution. Discussion.
Mr. Mayor, Crystal got called away, but basically the requester, Kenneth Clayton, shall develop a caliche roadway which includes a minimum caliche base. It will continue off existing city easement, which is Boulder Lane.
Okay. I brought this to Ms. Shannon's attention. I didn't know Crystal wasn't going to be here tonight. But this is an easement, and we are not responsible for the road, but in the backup paperwork, it states that the impact on the city would be to basically grade and maintain the road. I asked that be struck from that because we don't own this road. It's not even a road. I mean, we've been down this road, and Mr. Clayton, I'll get with you in just a second. It has, there's been a lot over the past few years with this particular easement. And so the granting of the easement is basically what we're attempting to do. And I want to make sure that everyone understands that we're not responsible for maintenance or whatever of the road. Anyway, I open it if you have.
That's all it is. If we ever in the future wanted to sell that piece of property that's here,
right,
we are bound by not being able to access that property.
I understand.
And so that's all it was a future easement, more than likely never going to be a road.
Not in my lifetime, possibly.
Probably not mine either.
Okay, it was in our paperwork, and I wanted to make sure that you, as the owner,
I apologize for
you knew.
missing the last meeting. So.
Oh, no, you're fine. And because that's been a point of contention for several years, and finally, the road has been brought up to specs as far as at least it's travelable, but we're not responsible for it, and it is considered an easement that we grant and not a road, so, okay. All right, thank you. Just wanted to get that clear before we went to vote.
Any other questions?
Any other questions for, okay, all right, thank you, sir. All right, any further discussion? All right, hearing none, Ms. Shannon?
Commissioner Ramon,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez,
Yes.
Commissioner Perry,
Yes.
Commissioner White.
Yes. I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2026-037, approval of temporary use gas permit.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second on this. As far as discussion, Counselor, do you want to?
Sure.
Okay.
So, New Mexico Gas is gonna run a line underneath the Highway 18. So they contacted us about a portion of the property on the east side of the road to set up sort of like a workstation so they could get that going. I talked to their contractor back in January, Chad Wren at Percheron, asked him what their work plan was so I could design and we can take a look at what we need to put in that easement. They didn't have a work plan, didn't really know what they wanted to do. So I said, when you get a work plan ready, let me know. Their particular form that they submitted gives them a lot of variance as far as how they can use that surface. And so I don't think that's something that's appropriate. In addition, since it's in the city's well field where our public water is, we need to have an idea what kind of chemicals they're using, what they're gonna do on site. So I most recently talked to a gentleman at New Mexico Gas, sent him my email address April 2nd, had the same conversation with him. I said, when you get a work plan put together of what you need to do on our property, send that to me and we'll accommodate. And so far, I haven't seen anything. So as soon as we get something from New Mexico Gas that says, we like to get on site on this date, here's what we're gonna do, here's what we're anticipating could happen, we're gonna wrap up and we'll be out of there on such and such date, we can put something together. But I don't think it's a good idea to just give them that site and say, whatever you think is convenient in regard to your project, just go ahead and do it on the surface. So I don't think there's a real issue with the price. I think it's just the terms and conditions of what they can and can't do on our property there in the well field. So I'd be happy to answer any other questions that you have.
Questions, Commissioner? Okay, hearing none. All right. I'm sure we want to then amend this motion and postpone it indefinitely, or?
Well, they've got the project planned. I think when I talked to Mr. Wren, they were looking at sometime in June or July. That may have changed, so I wouldn't want to table it and then we're forced to deal with it sooner rather than later. I think the proper thing would be to not pass that resolution, and then as soon as I receive some detailed information from New Mexico Gas, I can get you a draft of what I think is an appropriate surface use agreement, or at least some kind of rental agreement for that parcel.
Okay. Awesome, okay. All right, any further discussion? Ms. Shannon?
Commissioner Perry,
No.
Commissioner Rodriguez,
No.
Mayor Roberts,
No.
Commissioner Ramon,
No.
Commissioner White.
No.
All right, moves us to our next resolution.
I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2026-039, approval to appoint 3 ETC commission members, those being Brian Cooper, David Munoz, and Junior Hernandez.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the appointment of these 3 individuals. Ms. Shannon?
I have other applications that were presented today. So if you would like to include them as well. Choose their motion. This is Betty Price and Harry Myers.
We are in discussion time. I'm going to bring up, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Amend my motion before you do that?
Well, let's get discussion and we'll amend it in whatever manner. Yes, I think that's good. You know, the residents of Lee County that are just outside the city limits have continually, you know, spoken that they would like to be represented. And I think this is a place that those constituents can represent the needs of the city and the needs of the ETZ. So as far as thought on it, I would like to see those that are appointed maybe come from that particular area. And I don't know where everyone lives. I happen to know where a couple of them live, but I just think that this would be a good place for county residents to represent the city, especially in the area that they are. That was just my recommendation.
I'd like to amend my resolution and change my members to Junior Hernandez, Julia Myers, and Betty Price.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on this resolution. Sorry, I didn't think that. Any further discussion? Okay. Hearing none, Ms. Shannon?
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner Perry,
Yes.
Commissioner Romano,
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez.
No.
All right, let's move us to our next item. Nope, you're fine. I happen to have my finger on it.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2026-040, approve opioid funds disbursement to Heart's Desire.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Are you gonna?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr.
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, we received a request from Heart's Desire for $11,000 in funding from the opioid fund, which to date has just shy of $100,000 in it. For those who don't know, the opioid fund is actually comprised of 4 or 5 opioid settlements, state and nationwide, which are dispersed through the State Attorney General's office, and they have very strict requirements about how the funds can be spent. Heart's Desire has been a positive presence in our community for many years, providing opioid and other addictive substance abuse counseling and assistance for individuals struggling with addiction, offering 12-step recovery classes, homeless women and children sheltering, and the opportunity for employment and other activities. And if you'll remember, last winter, when it was really, really cold, they had a warming station, which I think went for 4 or 5 days. I think they're a very positive influence in the committee, and the disbursement of these funds falls within parameters set by the entities who distributed the funds to our city, and it would be my personal recommendation to disperse these funds to Heart's Desire.
Okay. Questions?
No.
And I remiss, I have not been asking for public comment. So.
I know that's like lawsuit money. Is there a deadline on how long we have to use it?
No, it just has to go directly, can't buy a K-9, it just has to go to counseling.
Education.
Yeah, and education.
For training and counseling and anything to do with addiction. and
Okay,
opioid.
just want to make sure we don't have to use it by a certain time.
Okay. Sorry, no questions from the commissioners, from the staff?
The state auditor's office recently sent out a memo asking about how the municipality is dealing with the spending
This
of money.
fund, yes.
And all that. And I suspect that in the new audit board, there'll be, the state auditor will make a requirement that the auditors look to see that the expenditures meet the qualifications when they're testing the records. So I think this would probably falls under that criteria, and there won't be any problems.
And I think the other reason for that survey is because municipalities have received funds and have been sitting on them for years and not putting them for the use they were intended for. So they actually want to see that money being spent for legitimate purposes.
And the city has designated a fund where that money is located. And so it's being spent only for that purpose, not for regular operating expenditures.
Thank you. Any further staff comment? I mean, Chief, you don't have any, you're good with it?
We have
Okay. All right. Public comment. Hearing none. Ms. Shannon?
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramon,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner Perry.
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2026-041, approve amended Open Meetings Act for City of Lovington.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for this resolution. City Manager?
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, so the possibility was brought up of changing our requirements for the publication of the agenda for various city meetings. As you know, the schedule for our meetings is published through January, and it's easy to follow throughout the year, 2 meetings a month, usually on Mondays, except following the holiday. But one thing that restricts us or kind of constrains us, and it's unique to our ordinance and it's not required by the state, is what is in purple. And we go over and above and require general circulation in the newspapers of distribution of newspapers in general circulation in the state. I think back from a time when a lot more people read newspapers. So the problem is our local paper publishes once a week. And we are required to get that to them, and it's not through any fault of their own, by 10 o'clock on Tuesday morning, the week before the commission meeting. And we've tried to do that. Sometimes it's a last minute crunch, and sometimes things don't get in there. So in certain instances, we've been forced to go and publish only in the Hobbs newspaper because that publishes 5 times a week. It's just convenience. So the potential wording could be if we strike the wording requiring publication in a newspaper, we could say on the city's website and social media platforms. But there is an alternative, which I think helps everybody. My department heads may not be too happy with it, but they can get over it. We can do what the county does, which is basically 10 days before. So basically for tonight's meeting, we would have closed the agenda on, not Friday of last week, but Friday before. That gives us 10 days and 5 working days where Ruth can get it in our local paper, to which Shannon has been saying that there has been some pushback by seniors in our local community that we no longer publish in the local newspaper. And it would give myself, Patrick, the commissioners, the mayor, and staff a week to get everything communicated and disseminated, and would just frankly give us more breathing room. I think it's less restrictive than this, but we can go ahead and do that, or we can leave it the same. I don't know if Ruth wanted to say anything, but that's an alternative. The county does it. It seems to work very well for them, and things run a lot smoother rather than the last minute rush, and then things get we make mistakes, and people don't get information soon enough. So I would strongly urge you to maybe take a look at that option as well as possibly this one.
Okay. I think it's a great idea. The thing that I'm a little, I don't think we put it in the resolution.
No, sir.
Because basically all we have to do is cover state statute as far as in the resolution. I do think that that's a great idea to put into our rules of procedure, and we can, that way every commission per year can decide, do we want to stay with the 10 days? I have no problem. It helps everyone be prepared.
You're exactly right, it's more of a policy,
Yes.
and we could leave our ordinance alone.
Well, I do think, I would say let's eliminate the print part of it. Let's make the changes that are necessary. And then our rule, our basically policy will be plenty of time, newspaper can have it, everybody can see it.
So we can do both, we can eliminate that, but we can make
Yes.
it better for the the citizens, the commissioners, and have that 10-day rule like the county does.
Yes, and I think that would be an easy fix.
Great idea. So I'd be happy to stand for any further questions.
Questions? Staff? Public comment? Hearing none, we're moving on. Oh, no, we're not. Shannon, I'm sorry, we are moving on, but not from this order.
Commissioner Perry,
No.
Commissioner Rodriguez,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramon,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts.
Yes.
Can I ask a point of clarification? What did you vote on? What, to keep it?
No,
To remove what's in purple.
Yeah, to basically take out the print. Yes.
Okay.
The requirement to be in print.
Okay.
So that would be the amendment, to take out the requirement in print, and then internally, we will start publishing 10 days before the meeting.
Okay.
But that's not, that's
We
not.
can do
That's
that.
not, yeah.
It's not required to be a part of the resolution, it's an internal policy matter, so I just have to
You
say
just
that.
decided on our rules and procedures. of our meeting.
Correct.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
I believe we're ready.
I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2026-042, approve award of RFP number 2025-012, library re-roof to Hamilton Roofing.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the approval of this resolution. Ms. Bolt?
Good evening.
Just right here, yes, I'm sorry.
I'm sure everyone's seen the packet this week. And,
We have.
Yes. Is there any questions I can answer?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll just leave. First of all, I want to commend you. This information was very helpful, okay? And I know since January, we have fought this particular item, but seeing, the analysis and all of the information that came forth was very helpful to myself. So we appreciate that. When that happened in January, I know that we had the bid opening on the Wednesday before the commission. Then you had your team do the analysis and come up with what you felt was the number one. And that happened on the Friday, according to the date. And it just wasn't enough time to get it into the package and into us. And so my advice is, I'm great with this. Let's just be timely so that we have time to look at it.
I agree. Yeah.
Now, I do have a specific question.
Okay.
I gotta get to the right packet. Okay.
I also wanted to tell you that we do have grant money available for improvements to the library. So depending on which way we go, and we had done that library re-roof project budget this year. So there may not be any reason to do a bar for the additional renovations that the library needs.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, on page 54, and I'm sure you're not carrying one and you don't have it all memorized,
Okay.
out of 100 and whatever pages it was. Okay, I'm just gonna, it's very brief. This is on the contract procedures and its terms and conditions.
Okay.
And for Hamilton Roofing, oh, he got you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. For them, they said the current conditions are city may pay for the services with procurement card without penalty. Their proposed is city may do that without penalty and will pay the processing fee required to process the payment of 2.9%. I did not see anything addressing this, so can you explain or will you clarify the direction that we're going? Because 2.9% on 200,000 is about $6,000.
We don't, the city doesn't use P cards.
Well,
So it's basically a credit card just for procurement purposes. And there are municipalities in this state that use it.
The county
We don't.
does.
Yeah, we don't use a
Okay.
procurement card.
I didn't know why it was in there if we didn't use it. I didn't feel like we used them, but I wanted to make sure this was clear because I don't want us to incur or, basically be charged for
I agree, and we have not used it. From what I understand, the city has used P cards in the past. Since I've been here, I have not heard of any department using P cards or it being a city policy or anything like that. So far, the vendors that we have used for different projects have been fine with the
our method of payment.
Mhm, right. Yeah.
All right. Commissioner Ramon.
On the warranty, it says that they will conduct required preventative maintenance twice per year for the entirety of the workmanship warranty period of 5 years.
Mhm.
Will we make sure that that happens? Just because I know the city has issues with all of its roofs, or a good majority of its roofs. I just want to make sure that if we're paying all this money, that we're making sure that they're staying up with this preventative maintenance.
Absolutely.
Okay.
There has been issues that, with warranties, not us particularly, but throughout the county, there has been issues with not keeping up with the required maintenance and the warranty paperwork. So we can prove if something happens and another hailstorm comes in, that we have the warranty documentation to back that up. I'll get with Mr. Miranda and see exactly who, if he'd like me to take care of it, or if Mr. Perez is gonna take care of it, but I adamantly agree with you, warranty information has to be documented.
Thank you.
All right. Any further questions? Okay, hearing none. Staff, questions? Public comment? Hearing none. Ms. Shen?
Okay, I'm sorry, I missed when you made the motion, you did.
She stated Hamilton Roofing.
Roofing.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so we have Commissioner Ramon,
Yes.
Commissioner Perry,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez.
Yes.
All right. That one's off the table for
And I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2026-045, approved budget resolution for fiscal year 26, fourth quarter.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Mr. Ed?
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, I'm bringing to you a small budget adjustment. When we went back in that bar number 2 that was done at the end of March, on the 23rd of March, I basically reworked the budget to get it to where it needed to be, to kind of prevent any hopefully any budget overruns, so we don't have any audit findings. So really what the process works is you establish your budget, which you're gonna start now in fiscal year 27. And then anytime throughout the year, maybe there's an award or something coming in that needs a budget adjustment, then when the commission approves it, then when you submit it to DFA, you actually send the paperwork with it that kind of supports why you're doing this. So that's the process we'll do from this point forward. So on the first one, in the general fund, Laura, she's gone. she wanted to, she received donations out of there for the animal protection and from citizens, I guess, and businesses and the like. And so she got the money and it's in the general fund and she would like to spend that money before the end of the fiscal year. So we're increasing $4,800 of revenue and $4,800 of expenditures. The EMS, there, at the beginning of the fiscal year, there was $10,682 of cash that is being carried over into this fiscal year. And the Department of Health wrote a letter and gave permission for the city to spend that money. So we need to increase the expenditures, allowing that money to be spent. At the same time they wrote that letter, they wrote another letter basically saying that they had reviewed the records for the last X amount of years and determined that the city did not provide sufficient expenditures or for the money that they were received, that the city received, did not have sufficient documentation. So they want back $21,144 of prior years. And I would attribute this to poor accounting. More than likely that money was either spent in the general fund or in the ambulance fund. That's probably the two locations.
Well, I know if Chief had known he had it, he would have spent it. There is no doubt.
So they have to revert that. And so what's happening is, once we spend the 10,000, carry over the 10,662, there's not any money left to send back to 21,000. So we have to take money from the ambulance fund, put it into the EMS fund, so that there's money to send to Santa Fe. And the check has already been sent to Santa Fe.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. You jumped the gun, because I was going to like, just tell them we're broke.
I don't think that would have worked.
But if you don't do that, then it actually prevents us from getting money in the future.
Well, spend the money next time. I know.
And then the last item is on the capital projects, that the senior citizens received a grant for $284,430 to improve the parking lot. And so what we're doing is we're asking for revenues within the budget to be increased and for infrastructure or the roadway parking lot to be increased. And so it kind of balances out. So those are the, so I guess going forward, we'll have maybe a few little adjustments that we'll need to bring to you. But they're not gonna be any massive ones like we did that last time.
Thank
So
you,
I
sir.
ask your approval if you have any questions.
Questions? I hear none. Thank you, sir.
Let's see if it makes it 5-0 this time.
Makes it what?
5-0.
5-0.
Oh,
Because we put him off last time.
okay. I got it.
Pretty
All right.
straightforward.
Any further staff comments? Public comment? All right, Ms. Shannon.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramon,
Yes.
Commissioner Perry,
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts.
I guess, yeah.
Amen.
We adjusted you a little.
Good one, 5-0.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right.
I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2026-046. Approve street closure for school field trip, career day on 4/24/26, Central between Love and Main Street, 5 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Approval of this resolution.
Mr. Mayor,
Okay,
Commissioners.
thank you. I was looking for names.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
We received a request, like we do every year, from Lee County to close down Central by the theater there between Main and Love for Career Day, which is hosted at various county offices, and the school children basically usually walk up from Lano through the alley, police assist them crossing D and all the other streets. Then they turn right on Central. So it's just to cut down on any kind of vehicular traffic there. It doesn't really impede traffic that much, and our street department can assist, and I would recommend we approve this resolution.
All right. Any questions, commissioners? Okay. Staff comment? Public comment? Hearing none. Ms. Shannon?
Commissioner Rodriguez,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner Perry,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramon.
Yes. I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2026-047, acceptance of grant funds for DENCO Edition Hazard Mitigation Study, Fed Grant Number DR 4652-0072-NM.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and second for the acceptance of these grants. Oh, yes ma'am. Sorry, I didn't see you walk up. Yes ma'am.
That's fine, and I do like long titles on my resolutions. This is from Department of Homeland Security and Emergency Management that runs, it's a pass-through entity for federal grants. I believe the county with the sirens is coming out of the emergency management team. We also got the emergency backup generator for booster station #1 for wastewater was from a grant from this organization. Last year, I had sent out an email to all departments asking if there was a need in the future from a hazard mitigation or some kind of program that this grant could fund. And Crystal Ball sent back a request for a flood mitigation study in the DENCO edition to perhaps look into the future for construction or some kind of resolution for the low-lying area that we can potentially get some affordable housing over in that section. So that is what it is. The good thing about this grant is that the match, I have a couple different avenues to pursue as far as the match, but they also take the in-kind. They also give a certain percentage. Any kind of federal grant gives a certain percentage just for my work that I do. So they'll put, I believe it's $10,000 on top of this grant for grant management. So.
Question? I hear none. Staff comment? Public comment? Hearing none. Thank you. Nana?
Commissioner Perry,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramon,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez.
Yes.
All right.
I'd like to make a motion for resolution 2026-048, acceptance of review and award of RFP number 2026-001, Animal Services Modular Shelter Installation Project to Artisan Gill Construction LLC.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the acceptance of this. Ms. Bolt.
So we put out an RFP. This is a grant-funded project by the county to bring in modular structures, 2 modular structures to house more animals at the animal shelter. We're actually calling this pre-phase 1 because it is actually going to align into the plans that already have been developed from another grant from the county to potentially remodel, actually probably not a remodel, but construct an entire new animal shelter over there. So the RFP was put out with the plans from RMKM, which is probably most of the packet that you received. They worked hard on that. The project is not quite ready yet because we are still waiting for the modular structure vendor to obtain the proper mobile structure license from the state of New Mexico. It's been a long process and they have to have a specific license, but we have a lot of site work that needs to be done and we have a lot of work that needs to be performed in conjunction with this project. So when they do get their license and get the permit, it's gonna be 1, 2, 3. We need to, if you award Artisan Guild, and I believe he's here.
A representative.
Michael, do you want to come up? They were both asked to come because on something like this, when there's two things, I can turn it over to the commission to review the packets if you like, and then that way you can make a decision, and I just did a summary on that. But again, it's going to be, we don't have a date yet, but it's going to be fast and furious. Do you want to say a couple words?
I mean, when we're ready to go, we're ready to go. I mean, I guess whenever we know we're ready to start, we can start. As far as, you know, I mean, I don't know what else to say.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, Ms. Bolt, hang on.
Oh.
All right, well, I congratulated you earlier, but RMKM can boilerplate with the best of them.
Yes.
This is 240 pages, and I went through every page, and realistically, I realize it's a bigger project than just this award. My question is this: who in our organization can possibly follow along and make sure this is done? We don't have a person.
So in the contract with RMKM, so RMKM was contracted for the animal shelter project maybe 3 or 4 years ago to develop the plans. And then the additional funding came in from the county for this pre-phase project. So we went back to RMKM and said we need to have these pre-phase plans to align with the plans that you've already done for this other part of the shelter, so we don't go and, even though this is supposed to be temporary housing, we all know temporary housing could be a number of years, or we could repurpose the structure. So RMKM was contracted again to do the pre-phase. Yes, are the plans lengthy? Absolutely. But in their contract, they are the construction manager and oversight team. Same with the Avenue A project, that was Pettigrew and Associates. They were the construction management. Now, we have gone out, city teams have gone out and said, no, the project's not complete, and have made sure that the construction managers come down and take another review of it and stuff. But in their contract, they're in charge of ensuring that those plans are completed to their specifications. Also, they had put in, and Artisan Guild brought up so we did the best and final offer. You may see that BAFO. So what I do on something like that is I put it back out there with the plans and make sure that they have analyzed and they're aligned with the specifications. And they came back and said, well, ask some questions, what about this, and what kind of Gantt chart do you need, and all these things. We got the answers for them. So RMKM has a little bit more administrative tasks to do than some of the other plans that we've had come in. So that's where we're at on that project.
Well, again, previously I commended you, and we do need the information on the bidders, but truly, this was a waste of paper. 240-ish pages, times 5, times whoever else got one. On the plans, I would say that's a little overkill. If someone wants it, provide it as requested, but as far as the bidders and all of that, that information was very helpful. So, anyway, just in your best judgment, let's keep the packets at least managed. I spent all night last night and went through every one. I'm like, this is really just a waste of time, but again, I appreciate the effort. Okay, anything further from you before we move on? All right, with that, Artisans Guild Construction is owned and operated by my brother-in-law and my sister. And so while I have no monetary gain or involvement with their business, it could be construed as a conflict of interest. And so with that, I am going to pass my duties to the interim city manager. And I'm sorry, excuse me, that was wrong. Okay, sorry, Mr.
That's how rumors get started.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh dear. Congratulations on the mayor pro tem. I'm sorry, that was totally wrong, but anyway. And I am going to excuse myself, and y'all can just come get me after you get through the vote.
No interim city manager. No.
Was there any discussion from any of the staff, commissioners, public?
I have a question.
Okay.
Are you voting?
She's finishing it out before
finishing
we
out her-
vote. He's abstaining.
Yes, he's abstaining. And you are, I mean, you're not acting as the mayor
No.
and not, you're gonna vote.
Counselor,
That's my
I think.
question.
Okay.
Yes, okay.
Okay. Since there's no further discussion, Shannon?
Okay. Commissioner Rodriguez,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramon,
Yes.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner Perry.
Yes.
Now it's for him. He's interim city manager.
Welcome back, interim city
Welcome back,
manager.
city manager.
You did wonder.
Interim city mayor.
Whatever.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my. Okay, it's been a long day since 1:30 this morning.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion for approval of accounts payable.
Second.
A motion second to pay our bills. Does anyone have any questions on the accounts payable? All right. I don't see any further ado. Ms. Shannon.
Commissioner White,
Yes.
Commissioner Perry,
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mayor Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramon.
Yes.
All right, just for everyone's sake, we are going to a closed session. We do have one action item upon exiting, so we will be coming back, opening up into open session, and then adjourning after the vote of this, so.
Mr. Mayor, do you want the staff to stay for that last?
Ms. Shannon will have to, but other than that, I don't see any reason